we have to know our employees, and we have to know when I go to work and a certain person that I know well is not smiling, I'm going, that person smiles every day.
Yeah.
What's going on with her, right? I need to go talk to her and see what's happening.
The world is in need of a different kind of leader. Every leader must answer the question, am I a serving leader or a self-serving leader? How are you leading in today's society? You're watching the show for a reason, and joining us are the greatest servant leaders of our society. Welcome to the Servant Leadership Show, where we discuss and implement servant leadership in our day-to-day lives and the impact it has on others.
Welcome to the Servant Leadership Show. My guest today is Mr. Zack Cherry, President and CEO of Cherry Coatings. Zack and I have known each other for a couple of years. We've become good friends. He's become a good role model to me as well. You know, just seeing how he implements servant leadership on a day-to-day basis is very inspiring to me. So I love that you're on the show and your time is precious.
Thanks so much for having me, man. This is exciting. So
tell me, and our viewers are very excited to learn about how you implement servant leadership on a day-to-day basis in your home, in your business, in the community. And I'd love to know, you know, like I start every show off, who's your role model?
So, you know, I'm probably a little bit different than most. I don't just have one role model. I've never just focused and wanted to be like somebody, but I have respected who those, you know, couple people are. And most of them are from my family. You know, my brother, he has this perseverance and grit that I've never seen anybody else have, right? And it's something I admire, and I go, man, I want more of that, right? My mom, she's a spiritual leader of our house, in my opinion, right? When we were growing up, I mean, she had her Bible study every time we came home from school, you know, open, and she was, you know, constantly praying, and she was our prayer warrior, right?
Man, that's awesome.
You know, then my wife, talking about servant leader, her unselfishness, the way she just, you know, I come home and I talk, and she just listens for an hour of me just repeating myself, you know, that to me is probably one of the biggest role models that I have is my wife, just seeing how she serves us and our family. And then lastly, my dad. You know, we all have, usually our dad or mom is a big role model for us, and my dad is, we're very similar. So there's a lot of the same flaws I have or the same flaws he has, right? But the things that I saw, yes.
My dad's the same way. I mean, look at a picture of us, and we were a splitting image of each other, and just growing up, it was kind of like, you know, hang on, I am a lot like my dad.
Yes, exactly. So I know my flaws. But there's certain things that he has that I did want. You know, he has this stature that, you know, he was always a big, strong guy, tough guy. But we did truly learn, Rocky and I learned our values and our hard work from him. You know, he's a man that, you know, you do what you say, right? And that is, I think, something that we have maybe lost where we're at today. Is just that doing what you say. But you know, he's definitely probably my biggest mentor because he's a father figure, right? And and that is such an important piece of, you know, who I am. So
yeah, absolutely. And we've you know, we've known each other through, we go to the same church together. We go to Watermark.
Yes.
Yeah, we got a great leader there.
Oh,
Todd
absolutely.
Wagner. I love listening to him regularly. And you've, you know, even to just being around you, and you've surrounded your people with great servant leaders. You know, would you say it's contagious?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you know, because you're talking the same language, right? And when you're around other servant leaders, they, you know, are telling you what they're doing, right? And we're vice versa. I'm telling them what I'm doing. And when we have that, you know, conversation, that community, you're learning more how to be better because we don't know it all. Right.
Is it something that we just have, or is it something that we have to learn more of?
No, it's something that I think you have to learn more of. I'll tell you for myself, I am more traditionally just built as a servant leader, where my dad is more traditionally a traditional leader, right?
Yeah,
We're a
yeah.
dictatorship,
That's it.
you know, pound the fist. He rules with the iron fist, right?
Yeah.
But I have to work at it. I actually have how I got into servant leadership I got a coach, executive coach, and that's his thing is servant leadership.
Yeah.
And he, you know, absolutely just put that into me and taught me, you know, how to be caring, how to love.
Okay.
So, but yeah, those are just things that, you know, I've learned, and because I think it's such a big deal, right? Because it's about loving others,
Yep.
and helping others, and teaching others. So
Absolutely. I mean, there's a book I was reading, and it says, you know, leadership happens anytime we influence the thinking, behavior, and development of another person.
that's right. That's
know,
that's it.
I mean, it is, and then if you think in what you're pouring into that thinking, behavior, and development, if it's unhealthy, you're going to have an unhealthy result.
Yeah,
You know,
absolutely.
Tell me a little bit to kind of from your dad, the legacy he's left you guys. You know, you and your brother Rocky, you guys run cherry painting, and that's not something that just happens. I mean, you guys were. I remember a pretty cool time that I got to spend with Rocky. We were at the Byron Nelson golf tournament, and Rocky was there, and he wasn't like, "Hey, Damien," he's like, "Come on, come hang out with us," you know. And he's a very humble man. So are you. Humility is huge in servant leadership. And one of your employees, or I believe Rocky was saying to me that I used to teach Rocky how to paint, and you know, and now he's running the company, and he just loved you guys. So, like basically, your employees, would you say are an extension of your family?
Absolutely. You know, that's what we say, you know, our business and all our employees are our family, right? We're one big family. I think the difference is we're almost at 1,000 employees right now.
Yep.
So that's a lot of people to touch, right? But what we've tried to do is if we can create leaders below us, and if Rocky and I can touch 8 people, 10 people, 20 people, and then they can touch people beneath them,
Yep.
and if we can continue to do that, then we're going to touch more lives, and then they're going to touch their families' lives, right? And we have this saying at our office that we want to impact 12,000 lives,
Yeah.
right? We want to have 3,000 employees, and we were saying, hey, average households 4 per household, and that's 12,000 lives. This is how many lives we want to hope to change, right?
Wow.
And we get that from our leader at Watermark, right?
Yes.
It's about changing lives, and when we change lives, man, that changes the world.
Yes.
Right, because we are in some different crazy times right now,
Yeah.
right? And our leadership has to step up, and if we're building into the lives of our family first, right, our immediate family, you know, my wife, my kids, you know, that's first, and then we're going out and doing our sphere of influence, right, the people that are closest to us, then we need to do that, right? We need to put in that time. We need to understand them. You know, I use that example like Jesus, right? He knows his sheep, right? We have to know our employees, and we have to know when I go to work and a certain person that I know well is not smiling, I'm going, that person smiles every day.
Yeah.
What's going on with her, right? I need to go talk to her and see what's happening. You know, other day I was walking out of the office, and one of our guys that runs our flooring division, I mean, I could just see his face was very just intense. And I stopped by and go, man, is everything okay? He's like, man, I'm overwhelmed. You know, and we sat there and we talked through it and talked through some solutions. And you know what, at the end of the day, I mean, hopefully that made him go, golly, Zach, Rocky, they care for us, man. And that's important to us. You know, we're wanting to just emphasize our people, right? Changing lives.
Just to hit some of the business side of things as well. Not that this is about business, but just to put into perspective with some of our viewers. I mean, you guys did the painting at the new Arlington Stadium, the Global Life Park, right?
Yes. It's
you cannot manage a team to do projects like that, and that's just one of many.
Yes.
Without great servant leadership. Do you have any examples, like maybe what happened there and something that happened at the Global Life Park, or planning that you just, even something you implement regularly.
Sure. Yes, I think that the main
Make
thing.
that happen, right?
Right. So the main thing, we do, our core focus jobs are the most difficult jobs. That's what we're best at, because we feel like our expertise is what sets us apart. And then, our resources, because of our sheer size. When we go do a Globe Life Park, right? I mean, we have to have that plan. We have to have the right people in the right place, right? And we've done this so long, we understand, hey, we have to have this level of leader there. And then we have to have leader, in that job, we have to have 4 or 5 leaders at minimum, right? Different levels of leaders to execute that project, how the customer wants it, right? And turn the product that we want to stand behind and feel proud of, right? Which is that great quality.
It's a big responsibility.
Big responsibility. So we take pleasure, in doing these big, massive projects that are difficult, So to us, that's satisfying, right? So
that's fantastic. On the let's say the lighter side, I really respected just a little post that I saw, and how Rocky still gets fans that send him baseball cards, and he'll sign them and send them back, and he does every single one of them.
Yes.
Again, that is just from every perspective. How do you guys the focus between the difference between you guys and the company?
So, in a sense, we're obviously 2 different people, right? Rocky has a very good platform because he has a little bit of that celebrity status with his baseball, and he uses that as his platform to be able, where people will listen to him more so because they're enamored with. He played professional baseball, which is a very, very tough task. Very few people do it, right? So part of that is where his perseverance and grit paid off, right? And then, you have me on the other side that's more relationship based in a sense of like smaller, right? I like us, we have good relationships, have deep relationships with a lot of people, right? But yes, we're both striving for the same thing because we have the same Savior, right? And that's where we learn from, right? Is Jesus.
Absolutely.
He's the greatest servant leader that's ever.
The mandate of the Christian faith is servant leadership.
That's right. That is right. And, I think a lot of people get confused. We'll never be like Jesus, right? We can never step foot. We can never hold his shoes, step into his sandals, right? But if we strive to love others, if we strive to serve others, right, and put others first, and be humble, right? It doesn't mean, I think sometimes servant leadership, people think, oh, well, you need to be underneath somebody. No, it's more about, hey, I'm willing to do the same thing I'm asking you to do, and I know you, and I'm going to give you truth, right? And then that to me is servant leadership, right, and understanding your people. So,
give us you got a small company, maybe 3 to 10 employees, somewhere around there, just starting out, and they're listening to this interview with you. Last week when you spoke to James Sharp, and he had just said, get out there and do it. Don't be afraid to take the first steps.
right.
What do you? Give us some advice on that.
On a small company that's starting
Small
up.
company, they want to implement servant leadership in their company. I know it starts with the top, so
For sure, right? It definitely, one, you have to have it in your heart, right? You have to believe it. It's not about, I'm going to be a servant leader for myself, because that's right, going back into that's self-serving, right? And that's where a lot of people miss the point, right? Is it's, you truly have to believe it in your heart, and you truly want to make it about the people. And when you make it about the people and you hire the right people that have the same values and culture that you are wanting to put out in the company, it will just continue like a wildfire, right? Just like it could go the other way if it's negative. Whichever way it's going to spread.
You know, I'm taking notes, right?
No.
'Cause we're in the same industries.
Yes. Yeah. No. Absolutely. You have no problem with your leadership and your company and what you've done with it has been impressive. You know, obviously, you've been in the business for a long time. And to start this company and to make it successful in such a short time, congratulations
Oh,
to you. So
and again, I give all credit to the Lord and
Absolutely.
to being surrounded by people that when we go through hard times, I can pick up the phone and call you, Zach, and you answer the phone. And it's just like you do with walking in down just in your office and you're seeing that employee. That's the humility, the servant leadership heart. It's never about the money.
no, it
And
can't be.
It cannot be. The same, and we've been there to the hard times when there has been no money and the heart is still the same.
Right.
And that's what we strive and work to do. But we stumble and we fall, right?
Oh, absolutely. And I think it's, once again, we're going to bring up Jesus, right?
Yeah.
Without Jesus, we are just, we sin naturally, right? That's just who we are. And without him, we are, going to probably be more selfish.
Yep.
We are going to want more glory, and we want it about ourselves and how do we promote myself? How do I make my name bigger,
Yep.
right? And it's that doesn't get you there, right?
Exactly.
But Jesus helps bring us down, and we go, oh man, this is where we really need to be,
Upside
right?
down leadership.
Upside down leadership, right? And serve others. You look at the Bible and Matthew, and he's talking to the disciples, and they're like, which one of us is the greatest, right? And Jesus is going, dude, what are you talking about, right? Like
Yep.
that's the wrong
Yep.
viewpoint. Is who is the greatest? The least on here is
Yeah.
going to be the greatest in the kingdom,
There we
right? And that is because that's what he's saying. Hey, you need to serve people, love others, help others. And I once again, I just want to impress that doesn't mean that you can't be the boss.
Yep.
That doesn't mean you don't make the decisions. That means
Right.
that you are right there with somebody, shoulder to shoulder.
Yep.
It's just because you have to have that leadership, right? You have to have people making decisions, It just means that you are there to support, them. You're going to help them through circumstances. You're going to teach them. You're going to teach them how to fish,
Yep.
not fish for them.
Exactly. There's a lot of these business-wise, savvy guys all online, and they give business advice, and it's all about being successful. It's all about making money, and this saying, hire and fire. I mean, that just does not, to me, it doesn't fall in the servant leadership. When you see somebody not performing, what is your natural reaction?
Obviously, you need to go talk to them, see, if they have the right culture, they have the right values. It's about seeing maybe this is the wrong fit,
Yes.
right? So that's when you go, hey, what suits you best? Like, what's your personality? Do you need to be in this side? Do you need to be over here?
Yeah.
Now, if they don't have the right culture or the right values, one, you shouldn't have hired them in the first place. Two, you get rid of them,
Yep.
right? So that's where I think a lot of people fail too, is even if they hire somebody with the right culture and values, they turn around and they're like, oh, he doesn't fit this position, let's let him go. It's
Yeah.
like, no, let's put him in the right spot, right?
Go. In our servant leadership, it's not just something we do when we think about it, all right? But it takes a lot of commitment and accountability and community with that. Can you touch on that for us a little bit?
So we obviously want to impact the lives of our people, and also their communities and our communities, right? So we've always done a lot of free work, or helped other people out, painting people's houses of maybe low income, or I know Watermark had some, like a Quest Care that we help out on, or churches, and
Yeah.
any churches that we're involved with, we're gonna do it for free or cost it at worst case.
Yeah.
But we also, we're trying to ramp that up on the community side, because that's really where, once again, it comes down to the satisfaction. It's not about the money. When you're helping somebody else and you're seeing the smile on that person's face, and you're seeing that you're making a difference, that's what's,
Process.
yeah, that's priceless. That's satisfaction. I know we just did City Square, which I think is on our website or LinkedIn. A video, but those are just types of things that we do that we
Post a link to that video as well.
Awesome. Yeah, that'd be great to share. But so yes, we want to continue to do that, and we want people to reach out to us and say, hey man, how can how can we help,
Yeah.
right? Or how can you help us? People
Yeah.
reaching out to us. And yes, giving away masks. We have a lot of masks,
Yep.
or we did, right? And that was the first thing we said is, hey, who can we give masks to,
Yeah.
right? We have to protect our, first thing we did say is we still have to protect our people, our
Yep.
family,
Yep.
because they're working out there every day too. But on the other token, we're going, hey, we need to go take these to healthcare. Hey, can we switch these
Yeah.
good masks for maybe your okay mask because you're dealing with, frontline
Yeah.
type stuff. So helping the community, that's how we make this place better once again.
That's awesome. Zach, I want to thank you for being on the show. We've got a lot to learn from you, a lot to go with. You're very inspiring by the actions that you guys do, first and foremost. You guys are very humble, and I'd love for you guys to go and look at cherrycoatings.com and read a little bit about Zach and Rocky and see if there's some way you can partner with them on projects, on serving the community, and feel free to email us, and we'll get you hooked up with them if you want to be able to serve the community and learn more. Thank you very much for joining us on the Servant Leadership Show, and we'll see you next time in a couple of weeks.